Howdy! Today we're gonna learn how to cut dry fish. This is the old Eskimo technique of splitting dry fish and smoking it for the winter. It's cold smoke, so it's not the hot smoke that most people are used to. This takes about 2 weeks to finish. I'm gonna go ahead and cut a fish just so y'all can see how it's done. This is a Yukon chum called Kita. They're one of the best fish in Alaska. If you ever get a chance to buy any, this is the stuff you want. This is better than all the Bristol Bay stuff. Really good fish. I'm going to start out by cutting the head off. By the way, an ulu works better. They call it uluk around here. So this is the best thing to cut the fish rather than a knife. I use both. You just take the head off, gut it. Bloodline out. Just kind of rubbing that with your fingers. I'm going to wash this off. I got a tote of fresh water over here. Now here's where we make our first cut, is right along the back. You don't want it too thick. Looks like kind of a waste when I'm done, but it won't be. Nothing goes to waste around here. Dogs are going to eat. We're going to eat them one way or another. Keep in mind, I'm not an expert at this, but I've done it for a bunch of years. I make it good enough to my standard anyway. You stop right before the tail, because that's where you're going to hang it over. Try to do it thin enough so it'll dry. And you don't want to get any bones in it if you can help it. This knife's getting dull, it needs a sharpening. You go down and now you cut it off at the tail stump right here. Looks like a lot of waste, but these will be dried for dog food later in the winter. Now, you got to make some cuts so it'll dry. Try to get little thin pieces, and you cut them at an angle so you can so they flop open when it hangs over this pole. You got to be careful, you don't want to cut through the skin either. That little cartilage you got to crunch through, and then you make one cut down this way, the belly part. The reason is so it'll hang right, otherwise they'll curl up when they dry. Then you got to stretch it a little bit, and that opens them up when they hang like that. stretch it again. Here we have dryfish. Now I've been using the salt brine, just helps keep the flies off and tastes a little better. I just dunk it once. There we have them. Now this is ready to hang over. We hang it over the pole like this for 2 days to let the skin dry, and then we flip them and we'll put them in that smokehouse, and we'll be flipping them this way and then put cold smoke on them. No heat whatsoever. It'll take 2 weeks in good weather for these to dry, about 10 days. So here's the fish rack over here. We're going to hang them up under. Now we're going to throw these over the pole. This. We keep a tarp over them so it don't rain on them. And probably in 2 days they'll go into the smokehouse here. I just built this smokehouse, and we'll put a little alder mixed with cottonwood. Dry cottonwood gives it a nice mellow smoke. Tastes pretty good. So when you're done with this, you can pack these in a bucket, a 5-gallon bucket. When they're cold smoked like this, no refrigerated needed. We can keep them all winter in just a 5-gallon bucket if we pack them in good and tight. We'll pull them out in the middle of winter and they'll be just as fresh as when we put them away. We'll do a little more as we get smoking here. And this is after about 4 days. 5 days maybe, I lost count, but we're starting to get a good crust and looking smoky. Be dry in about another 6-8 days. Well, it's been 14 days. This fish is ready. It probably could have been done a day or two ago, but I like to make sure they're nice and dry. And this here is what we got. Nice. Not too hard, not too soft. We'll chop these tails off and chop these gill parts off in the fins, section them, and we can pack them into buckets for storage for winter use, and pack them down good and they'll keep like that. They need no refrigeration or anything. Generally to eat them you just peel them like that. Good stuff.